All right, today we are making a flower bed that goes around our little circular turnaround driveway. And it's around the tree. And what we do first is we're marking the distance from the tree. And there's no magic formula for this. We are using this log that fell from another tree that just happened to be the perfect distance for us. I'm 5'4", so this log is easily 6, I don't know, something. But you use whatever measuring utensil that you want to use to mark out how big of a bed that you want. So that was our starting point, was marking out our distance. And then we had all of these trees that we cleared out. These are just, I think they're called trees of heaven, or it's not poison ivy, what's the other, sumac. So they're the sumac trees, and they spread prolifically. So we had a ton of them on the land, and we chopped them all down. And these are the primary logs that we're using. They are, for the basket weave part, they are roughly, I don't know, 3.5 feet long. And then randomly, I walked around the property and found various newly cut stakes. These are like an inch and a half thick in some places. And what we're doing is, if you can bring it over here, Ollie, so they can see, we kind of overlap two of them, and then we put a stake in front. Abram, you want to grab that axe? And we're fine. We found that the stakes are easiest. This is a nice heavy 4.5 pound axe. And what we found is the easiest is just to let the weight of the axe do the work. Once it gets in there, you can really pound it in. So you put one stake on each end, and I'm going to pound it in more. It's going to get about down to there. One on each end, one in the middle. And then we've been putting the fatter of the logs on the bottom, and then skinnier logs we weave in. That's not long enough. Here. And you just do the weave pattern. And if you want to zoom in and kind of walk around and show them the front. And as you see, it's not perfect, but it's free.
Stake facts with Ollie Baines. So for the stakes, they're about 1.5 feet long. You cut one end flat and one end sharp. Why you cut the flat end is so it's easier to pound into the ground. And the angled end, so it's easier to get inside the ground, because an angle always makes the ground easier to get into. Stake facts with Ollie Baines, out!
All right, so this is the next step. We put down a bunch of cardboard for a weed block, and then we put hay on, well, it's not hay, it's straw on top of that. And I'm gonna let the chickens, these guys are roosters, these are our roosters that we hatched. I'm gonna let them have at it for a couple days and eat all the seeds out. Now this straw bale is old, so hopefully the seeds aren't viable anyway. And I looked it over real good before I chose this straw bale to throw out. Anyway, the straw will decompose. It'll help hold moisture. And yeah, I'm just gonna let the chickens have it for a couple days. And then we've got a bunch of dirt, compost, peat moss, bark for mulch. And that'll finish off our flower bed. But you'll let them have at it for a couple days, eat all the seeds as much as they can out of it. They're loving it.
scratching around and eating all the seeds.